Friends, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to solve the palindrome linked list problem on LeetCode. So let's see some example to have a better understanding. So as you can see here, we have a linked list with 1, 2, 2, 1. This linked list is a palindrome linked list because if you have 2 pointers, one at the beginning and one at the end, and you start comparing the values of the nodes, 1 is equal to 1, and then 2 is equal to 2. That means that this one is a palindrome. But if we apply the same principle to this linked list, 1 is different from 2. That means that this one is not a linked list. So how are we going to solve this problem? Actually, there are multiple solutions. And the first one that comes to my mind is using an array list. Yes. So what are we going to do with this array list is we are going to first loop through all the elements of this linked list, and each time we're going to put the value of the node into this array list. After that, we will have 2 pointers, one pointing to the beginning of the array list and one pointing to the end of the array list. Okay, and then we're just going to compare the values until we reach the middle of the array list, and if they are equal, that means that it's a palindrome. Okay, we can go to the next iteration. But if they are not equal, if there is a value of nodes that they are not equal, that means that our list node is not a palindrome. So let's translate that into code to understand better the solution. So as I said, we need an array list of what? Of integers that I'm going to call a list. So new array list. And the first step is to put the values of the list node into array list. For that, I will need a pointer called current pointing to the head of my list node, and then I will have my loop. So while I haven't reached the end of my list node, I'm going to put in my array list the value of the current, and of course I need to increment my current to the next. Now the second step, I will need 2 variables, one called left, initialized to the beginning of the beginning index of the array list, that is 0, and int right is going to point to the index of the last element, that is going to equal to list.size minus 1. Okay, and now I will have my loop while we haven't reached the middle. That means while left is inferior to right. What I need to do is compare the values of left and right. So list get left is different from list.get right. That means if the values are different, that means that our linked list is not a palindrome, so we can return false. And then we can implement the left and decrement the right. Okay, and we can return true at the end. Cool. Now let's run the code. It works. Let's submit the code. It works. So the time complexity of this is O of n, and the space complexity is O of n2 because we're using an array list. Okay, so this is it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.